So this week's episode of Attack on Titan, episode 3, is more of a build-up episode than anything. There's not much action in it. It starts off right where we left off with Connie face-to-face with that crippled Titan, and everyone's looking around the village looking to see if there's any blood or anything or any bodies, and they haven't found anything. So they're all like, maybe your people got away. And Connie's like, okay, yeah, let's go look for them. And as they're getting ready to go, one of the commanders is like, I don't think anyone escaped because there's still horses and things like that here. Without them, they wouldn't get far. But he doesn't say anything, and they all leave. And as Connie gets back on his gets ready to leave on his horse, the crippled Titan actually says to him, "Welcome home." And he looks at it like, what the hell? And he's like, he's frozen. And then Reiner comes up and slaps his shoulder and like snaps him out of it. And he's like, come on, man, be a soldier and, stay focused. But Connie's like, that Titan, it just talked to me and it sounded like my ma. And then Reiner cuts him off. No, you have to stay focused. You're a soldier. Come on, let's go. Connie's like, yeah, you're right. Gotta focus. But it's in the episode, so it's no spoilers or anything like that. But he was about to say, sounded like my mom. Like, that's exactly what he was about to say. So it's right there in the episode. No mistaking it. So they ride away and get back to their squad and all that. So after that, we cut over to Krista and Amir's group, where their commanders are like, okay, the further we get from the wall, the less and less villages we'll have to worry about. So after we get the rest of them, we'll be okay to search for the wall. But Amir's like, hey, what about us? We don't have any ODM gear. We can't defend ourselves. But their commander's like, hey, don't worry about it. You're a soldier. This is what you signed up to do. And after Amir, stops complaining to them, her and Krista start talking. And Krista's like, hey, why did you let me be better than you during training? Like, you're definitely the better soldier than me, but you somehow weren't in the top 10 and I was. Why did you do that? And she asks her, was it my family? And Amir's like, whatever, maybe that's why. But no matter what, I'm always looking out for myself. And Krista's like, oh, okay, that makes me feel a lot better. Because there's a lot about Krista that we don't know about yet. So after they have their little conversation with themselves, we cut over to a group of, I'm pretty sure they're scouts, or they might be not military police, garrison regiment. They might be with the garrison regiment. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, one of their people is leading a Titan towards their defenses. And then, obviously, they kill the Titan because there's only one of them. But one of their people is like, yeah, we could take them down one at a time. But if they attack us en masse, we're dead. And everyone agrees with her. This is what I don't like about there only being 12 episodes. I'm going to just say this real quick. Because they have to condense all of this stuff into just quick little flashes. So there's just a lot of cutting in between places. Like 1 minute we're with one group, then we're with another, then we're with another. It's just kind of not confusing, but I just wish there was more time. Because now we cut over to Hannes and his group. Hannes is with the garrison regiment as well. And they're all looking for the breach in the wall. And he's like, well, there's no Titans here. If the wall was breached, there should be swarms of Titans. So it's kind of weird that there's not any. And he's like, confused by that. And then we cut back over to Connie's group. It's late at night now. They've spent all day searching for this hole. And one of their commanders is freaking out like, hey, we're in the complete pitch darkness with just fire, with just torches to provide us with light. And it's really like an intense and creepy atmosphere as they're just walking along. And the dude's imagining there's just Titans all around him, and he's just freaking out inside of his head. And all of a sudden they run into Krista and Amir's group. And their commanders start talking, and they're like, you didn't find the hole? And they're like, no, you didn't either. And they're like, no. Well, it's possible maybe we missed it in the dark. No, not a hole big enough for Titans to get through. So they decide to wait the night to let the horses and all that recover because, they've been going all day. And then suddenly the moonlight comes out conveniently and they spot a castle in the distance, so they go over there and settle down for the night. And then we cut over to Eren and everyone who is still en route to one of the settlements, and they're talking about how the walls are made up of hardened Titan skin, which is what we've been thinking since we saw that one Titan in the wall. So maybe if Eren can develop the same ability in his Titan form, maybe he can patch up the wall instead of them trying to find a big-ass rock. So as they're talking about that, they actually arrive at the settlement, get out, disembark, and all that. And Nick sees for the first time the suffering of people who have lost their lands to the Titans, and he's just horrified by it. But Levi just makes him watch it. And Levi is a badass, he don't give a shit. So Nick is standing there, and Hanji walks up to him, and she's like, "Are you finally going to help me out, or help us out and tell us what's going on?" And he's like, "No, I can't do it, but I can tell you someone who does," and she's in the 104th Cadet Corps, which is the training corps that Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and all them belong to. And he tells them the name, but Sasha busts in out of nowhere with a message for Hanji, and she makes us miss the name. But as everyone gets ready to leave to go look for her, Sasha delivers her message, and it's hilarious. Hanji gives her a potato, because if you don't know, Sasha is also known as Potato Girl, and it's hysterical. So they pack up and get ready to leave, and Eren and Armin are talking, and they confirm the name of who they're looking for is Krista. And Nick said that Krista is the one who can tell them the truth about what's going on. So like I said, there's a lot about Krista that we don't know about yet. But while all this was going on, this scene with Eren and all of them, we kept cutting back over to the castle with a weird little scene with Reiner and Amir, where Reiner's like, "Amir, you can read this?" And she's giving him this really weird look. And all of a sudden, someone screams, "You gotta get up here!" And they go up there, and the moonlight's out again, and there's just Titans swarming everywhere, and they see the Beast Titan walking in the background. And Connie actually is like, "That doesn't look like just a Titan, that looks like a beast." And it starts climbing up the wall. And the commanders are like, "Don't worry, rookies, we got this." And they swing down and they go to engage the Titans, and that's where the episode ends. So, once again, art, animation, beautiful, soundtrack, amazing. The opening soundtrack, like the opening song, is amazing. I didn't really listen to it until this time, but it is awesome. I love it. It's just, it's beautiful, for lack of a better word. Voice acting getting better, as they are getting back into their role. It's getting better, but I still prefer the dialogue in some places. Like where at the very end, in the Japanese version, the commander's like, "Sit tight, rookies, time to show you what our skills are like," as they swing down to engage. But in the English dub, she's like, "Sit tight, rookies, let the ODM gear do what it was designed to do." I don't know, I just thought that was a really weird choice of words. But overall, I really enjoyed the episode. I'm really enjoying Season 2. I can't wait for the English dub to catch up with the Japanese dub, because oh my god, the Japanese are, later on in the season, shit gets so real. It's, oh my god, it's so good. So good. That's all I can say. It's just so good. Alright, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week for episode 4 of Attack on Titan Season 2 English dub. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.